Hi, everybody. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I was trying to get on here and for some reason it just didn't like my signal. So I reconnected, but welcome to the live, bringing the positivity keys to life, transforming your mindset, unlocking growth. I want to tell you my story about passion behind the positivity keys and how it can change your life. And I also shared a great PDF on the event, the 7 Positivity Keys, Your Guide to Overcoming Challenges. I have shared that before, but if you haven't gotten it, it's free. It's there for you. It's a great document. So I'm so excited to see everybody on here today. So I hope that people start joining. If you haven't seen this in the live, then you're looking at the replay. That's okay too. Put some stuff in the comments for me. I'll circle back and I'll come back to you. So hi everybody. I am excited to be here today, and let me know where you're coming from. So if you join here, I would love to see where you're finding me and seeing me from. So put that in the comments, where you're coming at from me. So today we're going to dive into the heart of the positivity keys, what it means and why I'm so passionate about it, and how you can use these principles to elevate your life. Before I get really started, I know there were a few people who said that they were going to join, so I want to hang out a little bit and wait for them, because the story that I want to tell is pretty powerful. And I was sitting here thinking about, these lives always kind of drum up stuff for me, like a little bit of anxiety, because I'm not used to this type of platform. And I'm always like, oh, are you going to sound like, crazy? Are people going to want to watch your videos? All that good stuff. And so as I'm preparing so that I can bring you the best content in these lives, I start thinking back about how I did get here and what it means to have these keys in my pocket and what they do for me in my daily life. And there's some really great stuff I want to share about that. If you look at that document that I put up there for you guys, it's free. You can download it. I put it up as a Google link, so you can link right to the document, save it to your desktop. You can go back and look at it many, many times. I'll read through some of that stuff while we're waiting for people to get on here. So your guide to overcoming challenges, the thought key, your thoughts shape your reality. Cultivate positive, intentional thoughts as a foundation for change. So you're going to ask yourself, what empowering thoughts can I focus on today? When you wake up in the morning, try to use that thought key to think about, your empowering thoughts, the thoughts that are going to bring you goodness to your day. The intention key, purposeful intentions guide your actions and decisions. Set clear goals to align your energy with growth. Ask yourself, what intention can I set to move closer to my goals? So what are your goals? What do you want? In December, we're starting to focus on the closing of our year and the birth of the new year, and what that new year brings for you. And I hope that you use the 7 positivity keys to help you bring about those things that you want and become aware of where you're going in the future. So the visualize key is where you're going to take that thought that you have about what's going to cultivate positive for you in your life. And then you're going to put that intention into that thought. And then you're going to visualize it. You're going to really look at what it means to see the birth of whatever it is that you want to create in your life. And make sure that those things are actually aligned with your values, what you believe that you want to see in your life. If it doesn't align with your values, then change that thought. Use that thought key and reframe those thoughts. The feelings key then comes in to tuning into your emotions and aligning them with positivity. Use your feelings as a guide to stay centered and motivated. If you don't pay attention to why you are having feelings, you won't be able to understand how to shift out of them. So think about how your body feels, how that, bubbles up in your stomach, or how you get goosebumps sometimes when you think about things or you feel things. So tune into your emotions and align them with positivity. Use your feelings as a guide to stay centered and motivated, and ask yourself, how can I shift my emotions to support my goals? How can I be more aligned? And then you're going to use the action key to do it. Do it. Think about it, put your intentions into it, visualize what it looks like, feel what it looks like, and then go for it. Small, consistent steps lead to big results. Translate intentions into tangible outcomes by taking action. So you ask yourself, what's one small step I can take today? What's one thing that I can do that's going to get me this much closer to my goal? And then share key, connection amplifies positivity. Share your journal, or not your journal, your journey with others. And I'm not sure why this is making me a little bit not working for me, but I'm sorry. It's live, right? Hold on one second here. Nope, it's not working for me. So anyway, I can go off the cusp. So we are, wow, my computer is being crazy. We are talking about the 7 positivity keys, and we are talking about the thought key, the intention key, visualize, feelings, action, and we are on the sharing key. Connection amplifies positivity. So sharing your journey with others and inspiring them and being inspired by others. Let your guard down a little bit. Start to pay attention to what people are talking about and how they're feeling. And if their energy doesn't match yours, make sure that, you turn. You move into a different direction. The touch key, incorporate mindfulness and physical reminders to reinforce your positivity in your lifestyle. It can be a little cumbersome to remind yourself in moments when things are actually happening that you need to shift your thoughts. So having tools to just quickly remind yourself, a little bracelet that you have on your hand, or a ring, or, it doesn't even have to be a piece of jewelry. It can be, your shirt sleeve, or the sound of a music, the tone of something, whatever works for you to remind yourself to shift. So here's where I'm going to get to the real nitty-gritty of my passion behind my story here with the 7 positivity keys. When a little backstory, some of you already know the backstory, so bear with me here, but a friend giving me the copy of The Secret, me watching The Secret, me having this transformational process over my life of the last almost 20 years, reading the books and going to the seminars and starting to understand how thoughts become your reality, was really, I was really diving in. And in 2020, I'm going to fast forward really quick. So in 2020, actually in December, right before Christmas of 2019, I remember having a situation where somebody that I was working with was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I remember feeling guilty because there were so many friends of mine who had been diagnosed with breast cancer. And I was always like, why, why is this happening to them? And, and I'm so grateful that it's not happening to me, but why isn't it not happening to me? Why do all of these people have these illnesses and all of these things happening to them and it's not happening to me? And I didn't want it, but all of those thoughts, somehow I got so connected with her that I told her one day, I said, I feel your pain. Like, I was sitting on the couch with my husband last night and I felt these shooting pains in me, and I was blown away, and I was like, okay, I have such empathy for you, and I don't, I can't imagine what, darn it, my signal. So anyway, she said, it's the other side, so I think you better go get checked. And I did, and we waited for those results, and I remember sitting on the couch with my husband, and I had found out in the car. I was at work, and I was in the car, the doctor that I had only seen one time because I don't have anything wrong with me. And this doctor was basically, she didn't know me. And she calls me on the phone and she says, I'm sure that you've seen the results of your tests by now, which I didn't. And she said, I'm very sorry, that this, that I have to tell you that you have breast cancer. And I'm sitting in my car in the parking lot getting ready to go into work, and I'm like, I was stunned. I felt overwhelmed, just pure, I didn't even know. I didn't know what, I was in shock. I didn't know. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I'm the most healthiest person that I know. What are you talking about? This is a mistake. And then I went into work and I told my coworkers, I said, they want me to go over to this cancer center and sit down with a nurse so she can tell me about what to do next, because I have breast cancer. And they're all like, as shocked as I was. And so I went and I sat in this little room with this nurse who I didn't know, and I'm by myself, and I got told in my car, so I'm still by myself, and I'm kind of experiencing this whole thing happening to me all alone. And I remember kind of hearing her sit there, and she's telling me things, and my mind is like, won't, like the Peanuts teacher that you hear in the cartoon. And I can hear some of the things she's saying to me, but then my mind just keeps going in different directions and I can't focus. And she handed me this purple binder, and it was full of information about breast cancer, what I needed to do next, what my steps were going to be. And I was just like blown away, absolutely blown away. So I remember getting home that day and sitting on the sofa with my husband, and I had to tell him, and I wasn't even thinking about me. I was thinking about him. I was thinking about the choices that I make for myself right now are going to severely affect my husband's life. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do or what I needed to do or any of that at that point. And I remember telling him, so I have to tell you something. And the look on his face was like fear. Both of us had so much fear going on. And all of my training that I had had over the last 20 years was helping me to not fall apart, to not break down, to not just, fall apart. And I said to him, here's what's happening, and I have breast cancer, and I was told today, and I went to see the nurse at the cancer center, and she gave me this binder, and and here's the next steps, and here's what we need to do. And he said to me, well, what do you think you are going to do? And I said, I don't know. Things inside of me right now say that I've never been much of a doctor person. I haven't been through the medical industry. I don't like going to the dentist or the doctor or any of those people, and I have a hard time having faith in them. And I'm not sure. I'm scared. I don't want to have surgeries, and I don't like all of that stuff. So I'm not sure that I want to go through all of that. I've seen what it's done to my friends. I've watched their pain and what they've gone through, and I don't know that I want that for myself. And I saw the look on his face, and I was like, I couldn't make those choices for me. I had to make those choices for the people that were around me. And knowing that it would crush him, because I knew what it felt like to even think for a second what I would be without him. And I was like, yeah, okay, I got to reframe my thinking, because I realized that it was affecting him. This was not just about me. It was about him too. And having all of that training in my pocket is what got me through all of that. There is another moment that I remember when I had already decided and gone through my surgery and had a unilateral mastectomy where they took my left breast, and I had to go through, 30, 40 treatments of radiation to make sure that it, got all of the cells that were surrounding it. And I was driving back and forth to the cancer center every day, 5 days a week. And it was like a 30-minute drive there and 30 minutes back. So I had a lot of time on my hands to think. And as I would go there, I remember in the beginning feeling, all this fear was bubbling up, fear. And I was like, what do I do with all of this fear? And how do I shift out of that? Because I know this to me in my brain, this is not a death sentence for me. This was something I needed to get through, and I needed to then resolve to move on and move forward with my life. And so I remember, in that drive, having all of that time to just reflect, to think about things, and then to start looking at my thoughts from almost like a higher perspective. And why are you feeling this? Asking myself all the hard questions, all of that good stuff that I had all that training for. And then I was laying on the couch one day in my formal living room, which every day the radiation took and drained me. I was exhausted. And so I took a nap every day, and I got this little puppy Zeus. And he would lay on the floor with me right next to the couch, and I would take a nap. And before I fell asleep, I would think about all the positive things that were coming out of this tragic process that I was going through. How I could think about the people that were helping me and how good they were, and how I had now all of this time that was taking me away from this 10, 12, 14-hour days at work, and bringing me into a space where I could then sit back and reflect on my life about what it is I wanted, where I wanted my future to go, how I saw myself, how I saw my family, what I envisioned for myself in my life. And that time gave me like the ability to bring about more goodness. Even though I was going through some crazy stuff, I just tried not to focus on the bad part of it, but about the good part of it. When I was laying there in that thing and they were radiating my body, I didn't see it radiating my whole body. I saw it pinpointing the spots that needed to go away and having it so precise to know where it was going. I thought about how afterwards I was going to feel this great relief that it was no longer a part of my journey, that I could move forward, and how I could use this tragic event to share how to become more positive with other people. I remember laying on that couch right before I would go to sleep and thinking, how can I do this? How can I make this work? And I not only signed up to be a life coach because I needed to keep myself high and, not let things just drag me down, but I also thought about how I could deliver this message in an easy format so that people could understand it, they could learn it, and they could quickly implement it into their lives, and then have these tools to help them throughout the rest of their life, where it didn't take them almost 20 years to figure it out. So as I was looking through my notes today, I looked at my little mind maps on paper, and I looked at what I said to myself in those moments. I said, I want to create and I want to share inspirational ideas, materials, tools, clothing, household, outdoor things that they can have in their garden, a calendar, stickers, temporary tattoos, workshops, videos, blogs, groups, courses, and this list goes on. I envisioned myself being passionate about bringing these tools to other people because I knew they were working in my life, even in the most tragic moments. And that is my passion behind all of this, is that I knew, way back 20 years ago when I saw Bob Proctor standing up there and I saw his energy and I saw how happy it made him to deliver the messages to people that they had control over their life. They had control of which direction they were going in, and they didn't have to just be on that 9 to 5, and they could figure out things in a completely different manner, and that it was easy because all you had to do was think about why you were thinking about things and thinking about where you wanted to go and then visualizing it. And I say that things don't happen in our time, they happen in the universe's time or in God's time, because all the different pieces of where I am right now behind these 7 positivity keys came from all these different life events: marriage, divorce, raising my children with multiple households, education, books, seminars, videos, friends. All of these things come together. And so if you really take a deep dive into where it is that you see yourself and how you want to live your life with your value and your passion, and how you want to be portrayed to other people, and how you want your relationships to feel, you can use these 7 positivity keys to transform your life. I am a testament to that. And I have another breast cancer story after that one, and I'll share that in a completely different live. But yeah, so I guess that's what I wanted to bring here today. And I want to try to give you just a couple little tips to implement them into your daily life. If I can get my computer up here so that I can see what I'm talking about. Sorry, I got a little bit emotional. When I talk about things that I'm super passionate about, I get emotional. So I hope that you're all good with that. So let's see here. Let's go back through each one of these keys: thought, intention, share, action, touch, visualize, feelings. You know, when I think about the keys, I think about when I wanted to put all of this together, how I could get it out to you, how I could present it to you in a way that you could understand it quickly, and how it could be a daily dose every day. And that's where my signature product came from. It was the Daily Desktop Calendar, which I love. I use it inspires me. I use all of my own tools. We were talking about in the coaching call for the Elevate Your Life program yesterday, and we were talking about how life is not just a short journey. It's a long journey, and you're constantly evolving, and you're constantly changing, and you're constantly learning. And I am no different than everyone else. I still have challenges. I still have, anxiety sometimes. There are moments when I feel, negative. I'm not 100% positive. No one is, right? But it's not about being 100% positive all the time. It's about having the tools in your pocket so that you can reflect and bounce out. Don't stay there long. I remember, I'll just bring it. Okay, the second time I was diagnosed with breast cancer, yeah, it happened again. I only took one breast. I still had another one. And the surgeon was telling me, it's healthy. Why take it? And I decided not to. So in January of 2020, I was re-diagnosed. I remember going in for my 6-month scan or my 3-month scan, or however long it is that you go and you get scanned to make sure that everything's still the way it should be. And they found it in my right breast. And what? I remember sitting on the edge of the bed and telling, my son was there at the time. So I have my son sitting on one side of me and my husband sitting on the other side of me. And we're all sitting in my master bedroom on the side of the bed. And I literally broke down. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is ridiculous. I don't want this in my life. This is BS. And as I was telling them, I got so emotional and I got so overwhelmed, and I literally just broke down crying, screaming. I was so mad. I was so angry. I was like, I didn't want to have to go through all of what I had already gone through in the past. And I was just telling my husband as I was preparing for this live call today that I was like, what should I talk about? People want to talk about, they want to know your story and they want to know your passion. What should I talk about? I'm like, it's hard for me to talk about cancer. It's a negative. It's something I don't want to think about. I don't want to talk about. But I also know that these stories are what help people understand where the passion came behind the 7 positivity keys and how they really can help you. And I remember sitting on the edge of that bed, just sobbing and crying and screaming and getting so mad, and them just holding me like this. And honestly, it was like 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes. I cried it out. I screamed about it. I was pissed off and I got really angry. And then I felt sad for myself. And then I let it go. I was like, okay, what do we have to do? Where are we next? How do we do this? What's the situation? Started analyzing things. And it's because of this training. It's because of these 7 positivity keys. It's the ability to change your thoughts and transform yourself by understanding where your thoughts are coming from. And you have to feel it. You know, I mean, if I just suppressed all of that anger and frustration and being that emotional, if I just pushed it all down and never dealt with it, then that's not going to serve me. But I can tell you that if I would have crawled into that bed after getting that news and stayed there for a month, who is that going to serve? That serves no one either, right? So having that ability to, in your tragic worst moments, understand that that is not you. That's your situation. It's having emotional distress on you, and then deciding, feel it, be angry, get mad, throw up if you have to. I don't think I did that, but I felt like I was going to, you know, and then knowing how long to stay there, right? In the beginning, a long time ago, I stayed there a long time. I remember being, you know, really unhappy in my relationships and sometimes not wanting to get out of bed. I used my children as a way to force myself to get up every day, to go through the motions, because I didn't want them to ever see that as a way to cope. I wanted them to understand that there was a better way. And if that took all the courage and that I could muster up and to push forth and to get myself out of the bed, then that's what I did. And so I used my children as a way to do it, but there are other ways to shift out of things. You know, thinking about not only the people and the relationships that you have around you, but your self-worth. Who are you? You know, why are you here? What do you care about? Where do you see yourself? Are you a giver? Are you a leader? Are you a follower? You know, what do you have to bring to this world? Because everybody has beautiful gifts inside of them. You just have to know what they are and you have to unlock them. And journaling and goal setting and deep diving, those are things that are going to bring up emotions. You're going to feel them. You're going to get through them, and then you're not going to stay there long. Once you get to the other side of it, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So why do we stay there? It doesn't even make any sense. It does not serve us. My sister posted something on Facebook today, and I can't remember exactly what it said, but it basically was along those lines of, you know, a lot of times when right before something that we want happens, right? We put all this energy into something and you start feeling like, geez, this is, you know, right about that time where you're ready to give up. You're like, okay, this isn't working. If you give yourself a few more days or another week and you still focus on that because you know that that's something you absolutely want to see, it's amazing. It happens like a rocket ship. It launches forward. You're in the midst of it. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that. And then big things happen. And you just have to give yourself the extra few days to get there, to get through it, to get past that feeling. And then boom, it just explodes in front of you. And then you have to be careful. You have to be really wanting to, you know, you want those things that are coming. So make sure that you're thinking about the things that you really want in your life, because they're going to come. And when they come, they're going to come fast. So be ready for them. I urge you to take that free PDF I put up there, print it out, put it on your desk, put it on your, in your kitchen, wherever you are having your moments of, thoughts in the morning or in the afternoon or wherever it is in your day, and just read through it and see how those 7 positivity keys can transform your life and how they can really solidify some of the things in your world that you're looking for. So, does anybody have anything to talk about with me today? If you do, drop it in the comments. I don't think that I can even see my comments, to be honest with you. Let me see if I can get online. Sorry, now my nose is running because I was emotional. I talk about my things that, really dig deep with me and things that I've gotten through, and the passion just comes right out of me. Those emotions just bubble up in me. Let me see here. Why can't I see my comments? Oh, here we go. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I just love you and I appreciate you so much, your passion for positivity. Oh, you're welcome, Christine. I hope that me pushing past my little bits of anxiety in this different platform and pushing myself out there to the world through these lives is going to help others, and that's truly what my passion is. So I have to remember that every time that, I start getting that little bit of anxiety right before I hit the live button, or am I going to talk about the right stuff, or is anybody going to, want to even watch these lives? I have to stop and I have to think about, why are you having those thoughts? Use your thought key, reframe your thoughts. This is why you're here. This is your passion. This is what you were built for. And if you share with others using the share key, that is going to solidify things and it's going to help other people. And that's why I'm here. So thanks everybody for tuning in today. I really appreciate you. I am blessed to have you in my world and in my life. I am so happy and blessed to be here. And I can't wait to connect with you next time. So if you don't see the little red live, you are watching the replay, and I thank you for getting to the end. All right, everybody have a really fantastic day. We'll see you next time.